Welcome to Total Retail Talks, your podcast channel for retail knowledge.
Hi everyone and welcome to episode 108 of Total Retail Talks. In today's episode, Total Retail's editor-in-chief Melissa Campanelli sits down with Fred Argir, Vice President and Chief Digital Officer at Barnes & Noble, recorded at this year's New York Total Retail Roundtable. Listen in as they discuss Barnes & Noble's digital and omnichannel strategy and leadership philosophy. And now, on to the show.
So welcome, Fred. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Really
It's
appreciate
great to be
it.
here.
Yeah, we're so excited. So Barnes & Noble is truly an omnichannel retailer. You have 634 stores, an e-commerce website, obviously Nook. So as CDO or Chief Digital Officer, what are you doing to ensure your digital strategy is complementing your in-store offerings?
Yeah.
I think that would be something that our audience would be interested in knowing.
Well, I think our approach is that we exist because of the stores. So we don't think of technology for the sake of technology. It's all about the stores. We're a really small percentage. And over the years, I've been doing this for a long time, with 33 years of my career. We have not seen the growth in the digital complement more than 10, 12, maybe 20% and so forth. So our customer, she likes to shop in many different channels. The digital channels for us are incredibly impactful because they're education processes. They're journeys. They're part of the education, part of the journey, the art of discovery, if you will, when our customers are searching for books. So in our particular case, we're incredibly focused on how we can continue to enhance the customer experience and support the in-store sales.
Yep, great. Let's talk a little bit about your website, too. I think you recently launched a refresh of it, of the bnn.com website.
Yeah, we relaunched the site 2 years ago,
Okay.
actually a month before I came to Barnes & Noble,
Okay.
and then we did a refresh last fall.
Right, okay, great. So can you talk about the enhancements and sort of how it's, the impact on online sales and
Sure.
traffic?
Well, in our case, our refresh occurred 8 years after the prior refresh. So in the room, what's 8 years? It's 15,000 dog years, apparently.
Yeah.
So it was incredibly impactful for us to stop and listen to the customer, doing customer surveys, a fair amount of A/B testing, a fair amount of algorithms in terms of funnel and search and so forth. But we are incredibly excited about a complete redesign that's happening this year.
Oh, okay.
So by holiday season this year, I think we will have something that will be fresh in the industry with different types of search, different types of engagements. We bring the art of how you feel in terms of the search opportunities of the site. And then, of course, mobile, which is such a huge compliment, which I'm guessing you might be asking me soon on that.
Yeah, wow.
But mobile then will follow, must follow.
Yeah.
We have to win both the online business as well as mobile.
That's exciting. When is the refresh going to be?
The refresh occurred, we call that the refresh in last fall.
Okay, but I mean, when
This is the complete redesign, which starts this summer. And by holiday season, it's be in 3 different chunks, but by holiday season will be a complete different shopping experience.
That's exciting.
For us.
Yeah. Mobile. Obviously, I'm sure mobile was part of your strategy when you were building the website. But what are some ways that you're capturing mobile shoppers in store?
Yeah, mobile traffic, all of us in the room or all of us in retail continually think about the percentage of mobile traffic to online traffic, right? Desktop traffic. And it just continues to increase. You got to be there. Now, the behaviors are different, conversions are different and so forth, but you have to be there. In our particular case, when we launched the site a couple years back, we weren't as focused on the mobile customer as well but simply focused on the desktop site. We have completely rethought that strategy. The mobile customer for book shopping is incredibly powerful. We have to have a different experience, and with the redesign, actually mobile will follow. We add different complements of, the big question is how do you add the mobile channel as a contribution to the in-store experience, whether it's mapping inside stores or it's lookup inside stores or maybe purchasing inside stores. Certainly, education inside stores are really critical. But we believe that mobile as a way of bringing that further into the 4 walls of the stores is really the way of the future. Is something that we simply have to be there.
Mm-hmm. So do you have an app, or is it going to be an app-oriented, or is it going to be a mobile site?
It'll be. We have both now. We have an optimized experience. So we have an app. But mostly, as we all know, the business comes on the optimized site, not the app site.
Right.
The app side with native can help us bring to the customer some richer experiences. But we have to win both. And for us, we've been focused on both. And as you see the redesign happen over the summer, you'll see fast follow the mobile experience, which we are really thrilled about, given obviously the increase in overall traffic.
Cool. So Barnes & Noble recently opened some new concept stores, and you're continually, as I can tell, refining your store concept. So can you talk a little bit about those new stores, and how are you integrating technology into them? I'm sure that's a big part.
It's a big question. How much time do I have? Well, look, I think retail in general is thinking about many ways of reinventing themselves. And one of the things that we continually think about is our store size, the store experience, how we can optimize that experience for our customers. We recently, as you noted, launched three new stores.
Right,
those concept stores have added full restaurants inside the stores. So beer and wine, we could have catered this experience for. And different assortment algorithms to help us think about smaller sizes and how we can optimize the customer experience with velocity of product. Now, what I would say, we've also added some very interesting technologies that we're testing. Now, many folks have done this already, but what I would say is in-store mapping. Walk in the store, get geolocated, go to a microsite, drop a pin and what you're looking for, add the wish list to a store map. We've seen this. This is important. When you're looking for books, and many of us have more than one book on the wish list, it's important for that experience when you walk in the store to be able to open up the app, go to the microsite, and see where all those locations are. That's one. We're arming our store associates with technology to be able to inform and engage and transact and have richer engagements with our customers. Texting for service, it seems really basic, but when my grandmother goes to Barnes & Noble, she does not do anything but text.
Really?
Usually me if she can't find something. But the texting for service tends to cater to a different clientele, and so we've been getting a lot of positive feedback on that. So these are all pilots, folks. As we all know, we test these stores. We'll come out of this with some learnings, and we'll always be piloting as we think about optimizing our stores.
I just want to clarify. So texting for service, you mean texting like a store associate if they have a question about trying to find a book if they can't find someone in the store?
Yeah, you can text if the bathroom isn't clean. You can text if you want to call to have somebody come visit you, or you can text if you just simply have a question.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's something that I thought was interesting, and so far it's been very, very successful.
So. Let's talk a little bit about customers. I know, obviously, that's on the minds of everyone here, getting the customer, keeping the customer. So what are some of your strategies? This is a big question also, for understanding their needs and their evolving needs. I mean, how do you keep up with it? I'm sure it's a huge challenge for everybody here.
Well, what I would guarantee you is if I guessed what our customer wanted, I would be wrong. I think it's really important to have an engagement, a consistent engagement with the customer, whether it's an online questionnaire or survey, some sort of quick link, chat link. We're doing some things with Watson here shortly, some things with Google shortly, but some engagements that allows the customer to have a synchronous, but not an asynchronous, but a synchronous experience with you. I have learned more times over my past, whether it's Toys R Us or Target, that everything that I thought the customer wanted, she didn't. What it really came down to is make it easy to shop, have a great assortment. I want to have a great transaction experience. I want to be known. I want to be in the know when something interesting for me is present. And so I think it's easy to over-technology some of these experiences, but you got to listen. And I just think from my perspective, we've been listening more and continually surprised as we're tracking what we hear and then optimally reacting to that.
Great. Well, I'm going to switch gears a little bit. We have a new newsletter called Total Retail Executive where we talk a little bit about retail leaders and their sort of leadership strategies and their how they motivate their staff, how they hire. So I would love to just kind of ask you, your leadership philosophy. You've worked at so many different great companies.
Yeah, you're not going to say I'm older, right?
No.
All right. My leadership philosophy tends to be pretty simple, and that is transparent, honest leadership. I publish my leadership beliefs. I put them on my wall. They're painted actually in chalk outside my wall, and
Really?
I hand them out for anybody who will take them. I'll give them to you. And I have 14 leadership beliefs, and those beliefs are really little sayings that I've learned from significant failures in my career. These are offerings I can have as I lead teams, as I mentor people. Things like, if you have a problem, run to it. Or remember your team probably has the answers. Remember the price of education is sometimes painful. So these are things that we run to. There's no surprises. We're very transparent. We talk about almost everything. And we welcome open door policies. And we've used that over the years too much. We are really, truly open door in terms of let's have everybody participate in overall success. So what I would say is live with integrity, manage with integrity and honesty, invest in your team, they're the future. And lastly, what I say to everybody who reports to me is if you're not begging for forgiveness 3 times per quarter, you're not meeting my expectations.
Great. And I just have to throw this in. I heard little birdie told me that you're a musician. I'd love to hear about that.
Well, that wasn't in the pre-call.
Yeah.
I do. People on the weekends do different things. We have runners in the room, I'm sure. People who work on cars and collect stamps, whatever you do. I make music. I've been a recording musician for 30 years, and
awesome.
That's just what I do.
Great.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this episode, be sure to visit our podcast channel page at www.mytotalretail.com/podcast for show notes. Total Retail Talks is available on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play, but be sure to remember to subscribe to our podcast channel page as well. Lastly, don't forget to connect with us on social on Twitter at MyTotalRetail and on Facebook at facebook.com/MyTotalRetail. Until next time, this has been Total Retail Talks.